Okay, part two. We've eaten well. It's time for a nap pretty soon. You gotta recover.
Yeah. The old guy needs a nap.
I feel like I would too, but I'm gonna have to get home still, and who knows, maybe it's gonna happen on the way. So we want to talk a little bit more. Again, 20, long time as a racer now, long time as a team, and then team director or co-founder, kind of co-founder.
Yeah, you knew me a year and a half.
Let's talk a little bit about maybe you personally, and maybe also the team. What were some of the high points, or some of the low points, or obstacles that you had to overcome? What were some of the challenges, or maybe still are the challenges for you as a rider personally, and maybe also for the team? What do you think? And again, high points, by all means, please. What are the accomplishments you got?
Well, I think in 2001 we were one of our worst teams in the CRCA, and it took a lot to recruit some riders to come to our team. And then all of a sudden we started winning, and we got a lot more riders, and then we started winning the CRCA, and we got a lot of CRCA trophies. In fact, my wife is not happy with me because we have too many of the trophies.
Yeah, I should add, so the Foundation is definitely one of those teams to beat. I think I personally run a small team. I know other people. You always have like it is in professional sports. You look at Ineos and Jumbo, and you're like, okay, these are the teams to beat. They're the ones that are going to be dictating things a little bit. And over the last years that I've been here, certainly the team has been like that. And I think it probably has been before too. And along with that have come some trophies within the club and outside of the club. We certainly have races too, right? So
don't forget about Mike Marguerite. He's the guy to beat too. He's out there. He works hard. I see him in the morning. That guy's got some watts that's absolutely out of control.
This is what I call every cycling scene has its local legend, and I think Mike is that for New York City. I always I hope to get him on the show too. He's the guy that you hear, like people come back from Central Park laps, and then there's always a Mike Marguerite story, which usually is kind of like, did you see Mike Marguerite like passing me at 30 miles an hour, pedaling with one leg, kind of going backwards, also at the same time? It's like he's like a mythical creature in Central Park, kind of. And if you look at his workouts, you do feel a little bit like he is. So yeah.
He'll go 2-3 hours at 300 watts. If I can go 10 minutes at 300 watts, I'll be happy.
That is the workout that gets me too every time. Yeah. So, but he's not on your team.
No.
He's on. We should say that for fair. I think they've just rebranded as Big Hit Racing. It used to be Weather Channel. But anyway, so you're happy with your team's performance, though. I'm
happy. Obviously, you always want to do better, but we also. Every year we're trying to develop riders and to do well. And one of our sponsors, Dick Cashin, said to me he likes the product that we produce every year. So we're working at a lot of different levels. We're working at the time trials out in Jersey. We want to get better. We recruited some very talented guys out there. CRCA, we want to do well in Central Park, and we want to do well on the U23 and help develop young guys to go to the next level. And the beauty of the U23 program is some of the races we're going to be able to bring some of our local guys to those national races, our international races. So it's going to work out well. And our overseas development program that's going to be that Ralph's taking over, we'll be able to bring those guys and have them have the visibility of going all over the place to show how good they are.
So you've been able to kind of construct a pipeline, make connections between that team. So it's not that here's down the 23 CCB Foundation team, and I don't know if you want to pull out a jersey. I think you brought one.
I got
so that people are like, okay, that's what the kid looks like. So so there's the CCB Foundation effort on one side. I'll think about dessert. Actually, I'll take the cheesecake. Thank you.
I'm not gonna go for dessert right now, but CCB. This is last year's, and there's the foundation right there. But next year's jersey, which we just opened up the team store with Hincappy. Like how I threw that in?
I heard that.
It's going to be Foundation CCB on one line. So, that looks like just two different sponsors, right? A team and a sponsor. But we're going to be one across. They're going to have the same thing as us.
Okay, great.
Do that. One thing that we do is if you're a national champion or a state champion, we do kits. We make special kits. So that's the New Jersey. That's the New York.
time trials.
And Santiago last year had the New Jersey.
Yeah. And I've seen Reynolds Jeffrey with Guyana, national champion one. So, and I think that's exciting. There are, and partially, not partially, but really because of the efforts, I think, to bring on some of that talent that we have some national champions riding around in New York City. Very often the one from Guyana because there's a strong presence of people riding from Guyana here, and I think that's exciting to see, and I think that really brings some pride to the scene too, and I think it's exciting we can say, all right, here's the national champion of so-and-so.
One thing, we could actually bring in a couple of more
I don't know.
people from Guyana, from the Dominican Republic and so forth. If we could help, if somebody who's watching this can help with housing, that's a big problem for us. Is housing.
Yeah, that's a big stuff. Thank you.
We'll support them with the bikes. We'll support them with the kits, the race fees, food, the whole works. But if somebody that's watching this has any housing connections, that's a drawback.
That's a hard. I was going to say, like, just that part of, and that's what I meant with that being the program being so complex. Just having 2 or 3 guys, which is usually what we have, I think, every year from Guyana or from the Dominican Republic, and bring them here. The flight, the organization, making sure they're put up, making sure they're well equipped in terms of the racing. They got to get acclimated, right? They got to figure out where to ride, how to ride here, and that is just a huge undertaking, right? And then the housing obviously too. So
thank goodness for Ralph. He takes care of that.
Okay, so you delegated, but yeah.
Well, yeah, I delegate. He does a great job with that.
How many people you think have gone through that part of the program? Have you brought to the U.S. to race? And do you know what, like you said, like some have gone pro and others have gone home back home, or have maybe just been racing locally in other ways? So
I don't want to miss anybody. So
no, go ahead. Yeah. He's got the PowerPoint ready. So
we got Yuri Vidal, national champion of Dominican Republic, and he went pro. Teron Williams went pro from Guyana. Juan Pimentel Jr., Adelie Cruz. William Guzman. If you ever follow him on Facebook, he's got the greatest pictures of him racing. Wellington, Daniel, Johnny Sandoval from Mexico. We just hooked him up with Power Bar yesterday. Brendan McCormick, Christian Torres, Will Raffamacher.
Okay, I've never done it.
Not my chair because
that's fine.
Will Raffamacher. He went to Jelly Bean. He also was a national champion in team time trial.
Okay.
Gabi Epstein was one of our first.
Yeah.
And he went to Garmin. We have Kyle Murphy, who's still working, who's still killing it.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Aspen?
No, I have not personally. No, we actually have a team member who's going to go there this winter, I think.
There's Independence Pass, which is one of the hardest hills in the. He at the pro level, he beat every single person up that hill. And his brother Evan Murphy, Rafael Merritt, Raymond Jeffries, Dominican champion, Raymond Jeffries, a champion of Guyana. Jamal John, that was the Guyanese national champion. You have the Alexander brothers and Quinton Winkle, who is the CRCA. Quinton Winkle. You see, I actually put him up at my mom's house in Englewood, New Jersey, and he lived there and worked for Gavi. So there's always connections.
But it's a lot of hard work to make it happen. But it's a long list, and I think most all of these came from Central Guyana is technically South America, but like Caribbean, that kind of those kind of countries. And like I said, I think that's a great accomplishment, and some of them have gone on to better things, even which is national pro level.
And even if they haven't, they had the chance to go to the show.
Right, and that's what it is. Not everybody can. That's the reality of it, right? It can't happen to everybody.
Imagine doing these USA Brits at night with fans and TVs showing it, or doing any of these big races. It's a spectacular thing, and that's it. Let them have that experience, and that thing will stay with them for the rest of their lives.
Memories, opportunities. Yeah, absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. So you've already touched a little bit on the future. You've set up these connections between trying to continue to recruit more international talent there, try to develop some of the local riders, continue to do that. and then ideally maybe they can even go on to CCB Foundation, and then that's the official name, right? CCB Foundation.
Yes.
And at CCB Foundation, ideally they could go on to some sort of pro contract. That is kind of, so again, providing a lot of opportunities for pretty ambitious racing is what the team is in some ways about. In addition, of course, we've talked about this already, but I want to highlight again the fundraising. Yeah.
That's it. And one thing that we talked about is, how about let's talk about the design of the uniforms, because I brought a little stash here, so you can see the 20 years. How we're gonna go from now. We don't have the 21 kits. The store's open right now, but
they're online.
They're online. Okay. So you saw the 2020s.
You got a website, foundation.
It's
where do you buy the kit? They buy it through Hiccup directly, or for people who might be curious?
We sell it only to the team.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And for our sponsors. But this was this year's. The fade up here. It's nice and bright foundation.
I like the little show and tell here. I've enjoyed that. Maybe I should ask people always to bring a little kit. And people like kit. People get excited about kit, right? So
I get this from Andy Cohen. He does this on Bravo every night.
Okay.
Alex designed this.
So similar fade, it's the dots here. Yeah. Nice.
The colors. I like the white, the bright white, because when you're riding out in Jersey, cars can see you a lot
better.
more. And that's one thing. We want to have something that's professional looking, but also safe. Which
means you're not a big fan of like bright orange, is what you're saying.
Bright orange, bright is good.
Bright is
so this
good,
is more black.
Yeah.
And then I want you to see this theme, the theme of the stripes.
Yeah.
Okay. We had the stripes here.
Yeah, I remember that kid. Yeah.
But it took us a long time to tame down. To this.
Yeah.
When we get back,
it was stripey, wasn't it?
This one I love. This one.
This one you love?
I love this.
Okay, this is your favorite of the
No, I'm not saying I like the new kits, the white ones.
Yeah.
If you don't know
the red.
you're not already.
But this was one that we really liked. Neil Bestek helped me a lot, and Evan Murphy helped me a lot with that one. This is before I had people helping me, and you can see it's a little. I said, all right, let's do a little Wall Street type look.
Okay, I see what you're going for.
So it was there, but it wasn't really that great.
Yeah.
So that design was a lot better. So
I want to say a big shout out to Rick too. He's like the best at making sure every name gets thrown in here. Like I will have a hard time. Usually the show notes, and I put in everybody's name that's got listed. And I'm already having a nightmare because I'm going to have to like list 40 names here. So I'll forgive me if I won't list everybody, but I'll try. Oh wow, okay.
I was taken off on the CSC. Oh, look at that face you have. You can't give such a face. That was a face that just got.
So my team used to have this kind of fish scale look too a while ago, and I'm not a fan personally, but I get it. Some of our guys really love it. So
the thought process was to make it red, but the scale made it pink looking.
Yeah.
So this was, I would consider this a miss. Oh, I didn't say that on camera. But I designed this trying to take off on the CRCA, and I didn't. And at first, we were like, red.
That's classic. Yeah. Okay. Just I've never seen that. All red.
All red.
Okay. But that wasn't this thing.
Well,
too boring.
I'm not. But you never want to have red shorts. That's all. I'm not going any. That's fair. I'm going to leave it right there.
You want to go classic black there probably. Yeah.
Wow.
So that was great. Yeah, I might have to continue to ask my guests to like bring a little thing for show and tell.
Show and tell.
Yeah. So that was a good demonstration of the team over the years. Next year's is going to be online. You'll see it hopefully in 2021. We'll see it.
You'll see it this week.
Okay.
I'll have a video on Facebook with the design that we have. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
you want another Coke?
No, thanks.
Okay.
If I could have some more water, that'd be great. Thank you.
So you're going to present that on Facebook?
Yes. We just opened up the store. We have everything. We have gravel, the mountain bike stuff.
So if you need more investors for your school?
And winter stuff. But the bottom, anything from the bibs to the knickers to the tights to the shorts to the mountain bike to the gravel stuff is all going to be black, and it's going to say Foundation CCB with one equity, Instant Dubois on it.
So how long do you plan to keep this running? and yourself as a cyclist, as a time trialist,
That's a question my wife asked me.
do you still have some goals there as a individually too? Because we've talked a lot about the team. I want to come back a little bit full circle to you. You're still doing time trials. You still mentioned that New Jersey Time Trial Series, and there's age group racing that's comparative, and that's still in your heart, kind of. You still get excited about that.
Yeah, but the problem is next year I'm in the high end. You always want to be on the low end of the age bracket. I'm going to be in the high end of the age bracket.
You're gonna have a 9 at the end of your.
I'm going to have a 4.
Okay, a 4. Yeah. All right.
I'm going to be 24. But I like to do the New Jersey, I like to do the New York State Time Trial, I like to do the Nationals. The problem with the Nationals lately is in Colorado, and it's very difficult to do a time trial in Colorado unless you're going to be there for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I've looked at that too, and I was like, nah. I mean, apart from the travel, it's also if you go up to 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 feet, and you come from New York, no chance, I don't think.
We had one guy on our team, Ric Wolf, and he went out there for the crit, and we finished in the top 10 2 years ago. Yes.
No, I think it's going to be in. I want to say it's Florida, maybe. So we'll have to take another look at where it's going to be for the Masters.
I would go there in a heartbeat.
Right.
Due to the fact,
Yeah.
because flat is very good for me.
Yeah.
I know the senior games are in Fort Lauderdale next November. I like doing the senior games. I like doing the Masters.
So we haven't talked about your accomplishments that much, but you're clearly still looking for competition everywhere you can find it. Yeah.
I was a Delaware national champion a couple of years. I was a Masters.
So you were a resident of Delaware?
No, but I competed in the Delaware. I won it.
You won, okay, yeah, but you said okay,
it was a senior game, so you wouldn't. It was funny because they gave me the bronze medal, and I looked at the guy who won the gold and the silver, and I go, well, I passed both of them. You could ask them. And they go, yeah, he did. And they go, okay, we made a mistake here, and they gave me the gold.
That's the accuracy of amateur timing sometimes. Yeah. That's funny. Okay, so you're going to be doing this for a while. Still with the
hope so.
Yeah. Body's holding up, knees holding up, back is holding up. Yeah. Same here.
I'm training 2.5 hours a day. I have to. I don't think I have the talent, but I train hard.
Yeah, you can make that up. Yeah. And especially for time trialing, right? It's,
even with goalkeeper, when I was playing, I used to train so hard. That's the way I roll.
Yeah. Then, what do you wish for the team in 2021 or beyond, maybe long term, if you want to? Is this like, have you found your happy spot, or have you found like the place? This is what you want to have, the timeline, or is this the step to something else? Though?
I'd like to continue on course, continue to develop young riders, continue to do well in New York, continue to represent ourselves in the community, and give back, and keep delegating as much as I can, so when I do walk away, it's going to be seamless.
And the team continues, yeah. Which we have talked about that. I think teams pop up and disappear with kind of people, individuals.
Right. And we've been lucky because we've had our sponsors, Dick Cash, Tom Kempner, Michael Tapor, Glenn Dubin, Vincent Dubois, Ruben Osborne, Peter Cummings. We have a bike shop, which is great. It's New York NYC Velo, which is right here someplace.
Yeah, I think that's correct. Yeah.
And Phil Bikes has been tremendous. Power Bar Sport gives us some great products. Pin Cappy, I'm good friends with.
I told you guys, the guy is a machine. Good memory. He's done this before, clearly.
I practiced.
And you've had, like you said, you've also had the luck of having a lot of the same people support you over at the same time. So it's not like you had to remember different names every year or something like that. Yeah.
And we have a lot of people that want to sponsor us, and they don't want the billing. They don't want me to mention their names, which is a very nice thing. They just want to help young guys, young people.
Yeah. Let me ask you one final question, and I'll let you go. Completely different, maybe. You said you ride inside, you ride outside. I don't know how much you ride a bike outside of it being for exercise, but have you seen over the last 20 plus years in New York City, do you feel safer, more comfortable? Has it seen as like the average cyclist riding a bike in New York City, the city changed? Do you feel better about it? Does it feel different, or would you really say?
I'm going to answer that question honestly.
Okay. Yeah.
I used to feel more safe in Central Park.
In Central Park specifically. Yeah.
That, you know, because now with COVID, you have the runners running in the car lane, so that's an obstacle. The cell phones, that doesn't help out.
No.
City bikes doesn't help out. The runners, all of a sudden, you know, they finish their run or they want to start the run, they dart right in front of you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
So there's more people working out, which is a very good thing. I love riding in Central Park, but I don't feel like I can train as well in Central Park as I used to.
Yeah.
You can always do the Harlem Hill. You can do repeats there.
Yeah, go up
that's
and
not
down.
going to make a big difference, you know.
No, yeah.
If you want to do the whole loop, that's when it gets a little tricky.
Yeah.
But it also teaches you how to ride a lot better. I was talking to Nelson Vales the other day.
Yeah.
He's in San Diego. He goes, when I was in New York, you know, I learned all my skills. You don't realize how lucky you are.
Yeah, he's also a local legend. You should look him up. 1984 Olympics, right? Nelson Vales. Anyway, so not to distract too much, but he learned the skills there. Yeah.
Learned his skills.
Dodging cars and pedestrians and other bikes. So outside the park, you feel it's gotten better then? Or also...
It's 9W, you know, I like, you know, River Road could be a little better paved in some areas. We had a guy go down on River Road.
I gotta be honest, I avoid it, especially this time of the year with all the leaves and all that. So the potholes and the bumps and rocks. And
you can't even see the potholes with the leaves. You're right.
Yeah. So, but your guy's okay?
Well, he's okay now. Ric Wolf broke his shoulder.
Oh, it's Greg? Okay.
And he on River Road, and he called the Uber to take him to the hospital. You know, so
yeah, once you're there, you're kind of cut off from. Yeah, it's gonna be hard. Yeah.
We once had one of the lowest points that we had on the group ride is as we were just past Alpine Hill on 9W, going to the Japanese restaurant.
Yeah.
Mark Petamisis on our team, he went down. He hit somebody's tire, went straight down on the side of his face, and we were there for so long waiting for an ambulance to come up for him. And went to the hospital. We had a fundraiser on our website, and in 3 days we raised $107,000 for him.
That's awesome.
So that is the lowest point of running the team.
But also a high point then in the end, because you did manage to do the fundraising there. So in some ways it shows a lot about your team too.
Unbelievable. I watch I go on Strava and I look at segments, and this happened 7 years ago, and he still is up there in a lot of the Strava pieces. I got myself a CRCA Strava segment record last week.
Allen Iverson, Rocky Balboa.
I was very happy.
You don't want to share what it is. Nobody goes for it.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. We're not gonna, but I tied Mike Marguerite for the record.
You know, everybody knows what that means if you run in New York City. Especially if you did it solo. Doing it in a group is not the same.
I'm coming after you, Mike.
He's probably just going to go back out there and take it then, I guess. But so don't tell him. Don't tell him.
There was another guy who did it in like 50 miles an hour, and his high was 57. So we actually had to tag that one.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever been 57 miles an hour, even going down State Line Hill.
Yeah, no, that's fast. Yeah, I don't think you can do that locally here. I think that would be pretty close to impossible. I don't have those types of descents here.
At one point, you were trying to show me something.
I think this has been really awesome. I think you've really shown a lot of the enthusiasm you have for the team and the many things that the team has to offer. I think you as a racer too.
I want to also say I appreciate your team. You guys do a lot of very good things.
Thank you.
And you guys are very friendly out on the road.
Of course, I tried to
And
think of like
one of the I'm not going to say a few, but a team that always says hello and is always respectful. And a bunch of very nice guys on your team.
And I think that goes, there's a mantra I'm trying to repeat, that we as a community want to try to be as welcoming and friendly as possible. I'm glad you perceive us that way. I don't know if everybody does. I hope we all come across that way. I'm looking forward to hopefully racing, maybe being at some time trials with you in 2021. I think time trials are very realistic hope for that happening regularly in 2021. And if regular racing happens, then I'm very excited about racing against you guys and seeing who can outdo the other one.
Let me leave you with one story that I had this morning. The guy on my team called me up, and he said he was shaken up because he was just riding his commuter bike through Central Park today, near Tavern on the Green.
Yeah.
And a guy rides up to him bringing a kit, you know, for some team, convention. I don't think he even knew what team it was. And the guy started giving him a hard time and screaming at him, you know? Let's try not to scream at people in the park and realize that we have a common denominator. The common denominator is we all like cycling, you know? We all get up, we all wear these crazy spandex uniforms.
Yeah, thanks for coming out and thanks for letting me.
Let's just enjoy the sport. Be friendly to people. Don't be rude to people. Don't curse people out in the park or anywhere. Just go out there and have a good time. And the better time you have, the better time the whole community will have.
Period. Thank you, Ric Wolf.
Pleasure.